It's a classic D&D monster. It's a it's a cross between one of nature's most fearsome predators and a small, weak animal.
I don't know. You are definitely not familiar with how terrifying larger owls can be.
Owls are pretty intense.
Yes, but if you put an owl in a fight with a bear, I'm going to bet on the bear every time.
We'll combine like the night vision and
but it's also a matter of relative size.
But they
To other things of their size, owls are pretty tough. I mean, to be fair, compared to other things of their size, bears are also well. I don't know. Most things the size of a bear are pretty tough. You wouldn't want to mess with anything the size of a bear. Like, name one thing the size of a bear, you'd be like, yeah, I could take that in a fight.
Me. I'm pretty cuddly. I'm like a teddy bear.
I haven't seen you in person in a while, Matt, so I can't really place you in relative size.
Okay. Here's a quarter for perspective.
I'd still say, like, an adult bear is going to be significantly bigger than you are. Unless you've grown since the last time I've seen you.
Well, it depends on like a brown bear is not nearly as big as like a grizzly bear, so I was thinking like a.
True.
And then the rare pygmy bears. No, back to the owl bear. All I'm saying is, you're taking a bear, which is already a perfectly good predator, and then you're making a smaller, feathered version of it. It can't fly. Yeah. It's just a smaller bear with feathers instead of fur and a beak.
So it's not the size of a bear; it's smaller.
Well, relatively. It's like black bear size instead of grizzly bear size. I mean, it's still larger than a person.
Pretty big.
Right, but it's just, I'm saying that you haven't improved a bear in any way by crossing it with an owl. It seems like a lot of work for not that much added bonus.
Well, why do we mix any two? Like human and horse? Centaurs are not? That's probably...
No, there's a lot of bonuses there, because centaurs are built in horse
like two sets of arms.
Okay, but I always assumed a centaur came when a person and a horse loved each other very much, and I don't think a bear and an owl ran off together. I think, like...
You can picture a human and a horse, but not a bear and an owl.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, your imagine has really specific limitations.
Yeah.
That's why he's not a crazy wizard. Tinkering with
Clearly.
Magical beast.
What are some other animal combinations?
It's like Skittles.
Are magical beasts still a thing in 5e?
Like dragons?
No, like magical beasts as a category of monsters.
Oh,
because I know the way it used to be is there was specifically.
Yeah.
Of course, I might just be remembering Pathfinder, but there's specifically a category for like the weird combinations and all the stuff that came about because of arcane tinkering.
Gotcha.
There's magical beasts.
Yeah, I don't think it's that way anymore.
I brought it up, but I did not. What was the horse's name again?
The horse is Terrence.
Terrence, that's right. Okay.
Terrence.
So did we? So
you need to get another horse named Philip.
Like I, it's my understanding that Terrence is in need of a new. Not that it's weird to own a sentient being, but as far as most of the non-horse speaking community goes, they might feel like Terrence is in need of a new owner.
That's fine. If you had not remembered it, I was going to wait till this game started, and I was going to tell you your servants came out. I'm like, Master, we found this new horse. He seems like he wants to serve us. He seems like he wants to be part of the team. And Terrence is just standing there going, So I wasn't going to let you off the hook. It didn't matter if you guys forgot about him. I wasn't going to let you off the hook. You're stuck with Terrence. On the tapestry of life, your two's destinies have been forever intertwined. At least until I get bored of the joke. Welcome to Next Top Module, the show where we play old modules, both classic and obscure. Sometimes new modules. Yeah, thank you. Joining me today are my illustrious players, except for one of them who's not here today. So yeah. So to set the scene here real quick, you guys all wake up at the lucky break. You know, I'm just going to assume actually we're going to pick up the next day after you guys got back. I'm going to assume that you guys kill a day, taking a long rest and like just kind of hanging out and getting your bearings. You probably don't want to set off like, you know, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So a long rest is technically 8 hours. So by the time you get your full 8, it's probably too late to leave. I don't know if you guys want to spend the time like getting to know each other, gambling. You've already kind of got a quest, so.
I wanted to go and get a couple things if that's possible.
Okay, you wanna do a little shopping in Waterdeep before you guys head out to the wilderness?
Yes, please.
Okay. I meant to mention if you want arrows or javelins, you just go ahead and adjudicate that. If it's anything else like weapons or armor, let me know and we'll.
No, it's pretty mundane stuff. I want to get a couple javelins for Cap.
Mm.
I want to get a whetstone and oil for Thistle for his dagger that I use.
Oh, you're buying everybody presents.
Oh, you're so kind.
And I wanted to get berries for Yinbu because I ate one of his berries.
I guess I should bring that up.
Mm.
So I don't know if how much we've officially stated this, but Yinmu is non-gendered.
Mm.
Yes.
So typically, we'll just use they.
Yeah, he wants.
Sometimes we project genders onto Yinmu, but
Sorry.
that's all right. It's not. It only really bothers me like when Yinhuo does it. 'Cause Yinhuo knows better.
You're right. I keep saying nephew. You're absolutely right.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
I'm really bad at this. You guys know what else? I catch these things after I review the tape. You guys know what else flubs I made? Heidi caught this one. I said that Clip's aunt got her a fish out of the fridge.
Oh.
And Heidi's like, fridge? And everybody else just went like, I totally did. So we're going to retcon that and say she has an ice box.
Yeah, I mean,
Which is like an old chest that's like you put ice in it every day and then
using
like.
the modern terms, where like none of us are actually speaking whatever Faerunian in common is.
Right.
We're just translating it all to English.
So yeah, I definitely have messed up some.
Alright, so basically I was going to get stuff to refill what everybody had lost on the job, considering nobody got paid and I got paid for doing something, and I did the least amount of work.
You did some very good, like, running on housetops and watching our back, so
I did
give
running
yourself
off
some
rooftops
credit.
for my personal enjoyment.
You're the one who you're technically the one who took Mona down to Bloodied
Yeah.
because you jumped on top of her. I just reviewed the tape,
The
so.
window? Yeah.
Yep.
But still she got away with the flushing orb. Considering I got it, but then I lost it once I went, like, black out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count. But no, those were the few things I wanted to do. If they're just normal stuff, I can look it up and take the gold off and everybody just...
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem.
Is there cool armor available for us to buy?
There is indeed.
There's
think I
armor. Cool armor is a bit on the pricier side.
I don't know. I don't appear to have any money. I think I started with equipment instead of with money. So I probably have 0 money.
Well, I'll just let you guys know now. We can do more shopping if you want, but you guys are going to receive a formal quest here soon, and hopefully you can haggle a little, what do you call it, pre-compensation?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
A little supply money. So just to give you a quick heads up.
Okay.
All right, so nobody wanted to gamble or anything like that. We'll jump to the next.
I do want to do Arcana checks on the chime of opening that I got and on the short bow that I got.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you give me some rolls?
If you're interested, I don't know how much of a difference it'll make. while Yinmu's not much at Arcana, they do have detect magic, which may or may not be useful.
Okay, first roll I got was a critical fail. The second one I got was a 15.
Okay, and which one was which? First one was the.
I think the first one was the chime, and then the second one was the bow.
Okay.
Like,
All right. The chime has 1,000,000 charges.
sweet! Indefinite usage! Hello!
You said a 15 on the bow?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you think this bow has definitely got something going on. You think it's definitely has some sort of magical properties. You don't get the vibe that it's cursed or anything like that. You'd love to spend a little more time with it. You know, get attuned to it after a couple days.
Gotcha.
But you're pretty sure it does something cool. You just can't quite put your finger on what, but you think it's better than just a regular bow.
I've already got a normal bow,
Mhm.
so I got 2 bows and 2 hands. I wish I could just, have an extra set of hands. Just to,
Unless you want to do hand crossbows.
no.
Okay.
They're not aesthetically pleasing.
Not as aesthetically pleasing as just like grafting an extra pair of arms on.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I might turn into a snake at any point, so,
Because they have lots of arms.
I have lots of arms. And I'll be scaly instead of furry. There you go. Oh, I would like to mention that now since I'm with the group, the normal kind of like overly padded, overly trying to hide that I'm a tabaxi is gone, and I'm kind of more in the outdoor ranger sort of outfit.
Okay. So it's the next morning, and you guys are like gearing up the wagon, getting ready to go, and you just walked out and you're a cat now.
Yep. Hey guys, where are we going?
Oh, hi. I feel like we would have maybe noticed that her face is furry, even if her ears are hidden.
Well, this is her ears. She had like a full.
I had a full like whole.
Okay.
Full,
So
full
it
head
did
covering,
cover
yeah.
her. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we encounter many, I guess,
Oh,
tabaxis
that's what
are
I should have been
still-
doing was looking up the outfit I was wearing. Let me look into some of that reference material I sent Matt.
I have found so many cute outfits for your character on Pinterest, by the way.
Share them.
I'm gonna find them right now.
All right. So, Yinmu, tell me about. I assume you're the one making travel preparations here. Tell me about it. Are you going with your full entourage? Are you leaving some people, sending them back? What are you doing?
That is up to you, because I would still probably hold on to my retainers for the most part.
They're your entourage. You tell me what you want to do.
And I guess they'll be coming with us.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not the backpack carrier anymore.
Do we have like pack animals of some sort? Where is my little thing?
We got Terrence.
You've got the list of people you gave me, which is what, like 6 people? 8, 6 or 8?
2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Oh, okay, I've got it saved somewhere here in my notes.
The twins, the groom, the hairdresser / gardener / tailor, and the chaperone.
He has a lot of roles. Okay. I'm sorry. So you said you want to bring all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so I imagine that you guys have like a carriage that you travel in, and it's probably adorned, with I don't know, however you'd like, in either your family's colors or else lots of leaves and flowers.
I guess it's probably more the family stuff right now.
Okay.
I can't imagine I have much of it. There might be like some hidden signs so the people who know recognize that it's the sign of Yinmu, but
Gotcha.
for the most part, it's probably just family colors.
Okay. And then, yeah, I assume you have like a couple pack animals and a couple like horses to pull it. And then, as I alluded to earlier, your servants come up and they found Terrence.
Hi.
And like Terrence is making a big show of like, oh darn, I didn't want to have to go with you. But you can't help but notice that he just seemed to be available.
He missed you.
I missed him too.
See, this is exactly how centaurs get stuff. I'm sorry, what?
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
I did. I was looking at like maybe maybe having like a horse form or something like that with wild shaping. Like, no, that would just instantly go in weird directions. People would make all kinds of odd assumptions.
It's yeah. So anyway, so they're does anybody want to do anything? They're making preparations, getting the wagons ready and everything.
I did have something since we're setting up.
Yeah.
Want to take the time and I wanted to bow and thank Thistle. Unfortunately, Ben's not here, but thank him. I really appreciate what you said to the honorable council member Yin Huo. That really helped me save face, and I appreciate that. I wanted to bow and thank Terrence for helping us.
Terrence rolls his eyes. He does the horse equivalent of rolling his eyes, which you're getting very accustomed to.
I wanted to thank thank Kath for her assistance and for being the axe of the group and for being with us.
She's the decapitator.
Oh.
And then
waiting already for that.
Turn towards Clip and look kind of lost. Be like, I'm sure you have hidden talents that will be very helpful and a great personality. And
she has the
ouch.
and decides to keep them.
But she makes a big deal out of getting Calf for a present. Ouch.
And I got Thistle, Whetstone, and Oil, which I will let him know.
Okay, which he accepts and he thanks you guys. Okay, so you guys get in the wagon. This is about a 3-day journey from Waterdeep to Daggerford, and it's not a particularly eventful journey. Thistle actually spends most of it. To your guys' surprise, he turns out to be kind of the biggest talker between the four of you. He's older than any of you realized. Because gnomes, I don't want to stereotype or get racist here, but all gnomes kind of have beards. So you don't really associate them with older people the way you would with humans. But you're surprised to find out he's actually had a variety of careers and over his lifetime. And so he regales you guys with a lot of stories of past things he's done. He especially spends a lot of time complaining about the reason why he became a paladin was because he actually served a paladin. He was a squire boy for a particularly pompous paladin named Tiberius Strongarm, who, if the first episode had recorded, you all would know is who he was trying to impersonate when he first came to Lucky Break Casino. But he regales you with these stories, and you guys are getting a laugh out of it. 3 days go by. I assume you guys take watch and stuff, but there's bodyguards and ceremonial bodyguards, but you have people keeping watch for you and things like that as well. So it's a pretty easy journey. The wagon comes up to Daggerford, and you see to your dismay that you're actually going past Daggerford. Now I should have brought up the map. I should have brought up the Waterdeep map. But basically, Daggerford is a little city right before the river, and there's a bridge across the river. And the wagon keeps going about an hour out across the bridge, and then about an hour out past the bridge. You guys see yourselves coming up to this hill, and at the top of the hill is a small fortress. Fortress is a strong word, a small stronghold. Yinmu, this actually might be your speed. You can tell this is old money. Like, this is a stronghold that was built like generations ago. It's the kind of building that stays in a family. But the people who own it definitely, even though they're kind of secluded, they definitely it's tastefully appointed, let's say. So it's not like a rundown shack or anything like that. And the wagon starts pulling you guys up the hill towards the stronghold. As you guys get closer, you see that there's a big sign out front. It says "Adventurers Wanted," and there is a big line of adventurers standing in front of the door waiting for audience.
Oh man, we gotta fight them.
What do you guys want to do?
getting in line with everyone else?
The
People
people
blowing past.
the people are standing in line. There's a few carts around, and as you guys look around and kind of get your bearings, it's clear that some of the people are actively in line, and some of the people are kind of sitting around outside. It looks like maybe they already were seen and they're waiting to hear back, like if they're going to get the job or not.
Are we also need to be seen in line, or since we're with our buddies and fancy people, are we blowing past the line? Is my question.
You tell me. What do you guys wanted to try to do?
Do we have an official invitation?
You only have what Yinwo said.
Okay. Well, I'm an official invitation. Close enough. So
Good.
let's just roll up in there and announce our presence.
Okay. So the wagon pulls up kind of off to the side, and the three of you step out. And Thistle goes to step out, and then you see his eyes get really wide, and he steps backwards back into the wagon, shuts the door, and kind of like, he doesn't have to slink down very much because he's short, but slinks down so that he can't be seen through the window. And you guys are kind of looking back like, what the heck's wrong with Thistle? And then you hear a voice in front of you, and a large, burly man in full plate armor and paladin garb walks up to you guys. And he says, "Yeah, I'm Tiberius Strongarm. Are you puny people adventurers too?"
That's us. We are adventurers.
We are very strong.
He laughs at you. He looks you up and down. He says, "Yeah, not impressed, not impressed." He says, "What are you supposed to be, a tiefling? We have 2 tieflings in our party." And he points back, and there's 2 20-year-old tiefling girls in very slutty outfits, like, "Hi, y'all."
Oh boy.
Let's try and hop up on Cap's shoulder. What about a tabaxi?
He says, "What? Are you like a cat person?" He looks at you confused. He says, which I'm sure, by the way, is very offensive. But
Cats would like to arm wrestle this man.
do you say that? Go ahead, role play it. Tell me what you want to say to him.
Sir, we must arm wrestle now.
He immediately straightens up and he goes, and 2 servants run up with a card table, set it up, put it down.
Excellent.
He's ready.
I need one of those.
All right.
I've never had a use for one now, but Kath, we'll acquire one for you.
Yinmu claps, and his 2 servants run out to the back with hatchets to cut down a tree and carve a table. All right, so how this is going to work is you're going to make a strength check. This is called a contested roll. We're each going to roll strength, and you can add your strength modifier, and we'll see who wins.
Go, Cap, go. Go, Cap, go.
And then strength is awesome.
And this is not athletics. This is just a straight strength check.
I got a 17.
That was Jack Dice. Let me try that again.
Well, is it a saving throw?
No.
Or is it,
It's just a straight strength check.
straight?
He got a 15. What'd you get?
Well, I did a strength save and I got 17.
Oh, okay.
So it should be 15. It looks like it's a tie.
All right. So you guys are grunting, "Ah!" and like neither arm is moving.
So if I rage, then I'd have to wait another long rest to rage again. Wouldn't I?
You'd have to check your character. You get more than 1, I'm pretty sure, but I think it's 2. I think you get 2.
What if we switch hands and do it again? We did right hand. Let's do non-dominant hand.
Well, I was just you guys. It's just it's a matter of time. So for the first couple of minutes, you guys are pretty evenly matched, and there's a crowd is starting to gather now of the other adventurers, and you can see Tiberius is sweating, but he's like, "Yeah, I go easy on little girls." All right, let's do a second strength check.
Second strength check. So what should I be? Oh, just good.
I don't know what it is on Roll20. If you had dice, I'd tell you to roll a d20 and just add your strength mod. He just rolled real bad though, so you've got a good chance.
probably just click on your strength somewhere. There should be. I'm not on roll 20. But...
Just, you know what? Do saving throw with subtract 2 again.
Okay, I like that. Okay, 21.
Oh, nice.
Is 19.
Yeah, he's got 7.
Wow.
So
Just his arm, basically.
I'd like to think, you tell me, but I'd like to think what happens is he makes that insult,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, oh no, you didn't. Bam.
Yeah. And then I got it.
He jumps up and straightens himself up and kind of looks around to see if anybody saw it. Everybody saw it.
Excellent.
And he's like, yeah, I let you win. I have to go now.
Yeah, get lost.
Yeah, I will, but because I want to, not because you said that. And then
Cap would take the opportunity to just sit there and flex, not like for anyone, just for herself.
mhm,
Just like,
kiss your guns.
yeah.
He's trying to keep a stiff upper lip, but he quickly skedaddles.
Can we get a job?
the tiefling girls stick their tongues in at you, and they skedaddle too. Oh, he's there for the same job you are. He's an adventure. He's a fellow adventurer. He's not the owner of the stronghold.
He was trying to intimidate us into not wanting to try.
Exactly. He's trying to get rid of the competition. So
Now we're gonna try and blow past the line, I believe.
okay, so you guys just
Now
want to.
we're taking care of that guy.
All right, so like I said, there's a line. There's probably you don't know who is with who exactly, but your guess is maybe 3 adventuring parties in front of you, and you guys just walk blatantly past them. And what do you want to do? Knock on the door? The door is shut.
Well, okay, like, where's the
This is all happening outside the actual stronghold.
trying to imagine what this looks like.
Mhm.
It would be pretty much, hey, the Yin family's visiting. Like, is this the only entrance then they have, or?
You want to look for like a servant's entrance or like a back door? Or...
No, I mean, like, I assumed they were at the servant's entrance.
Oh no, this is the front door. This is the front door of the stronghold. There's this circular building, right? It's at the top of a hill. It's clearly an older building. It's maybe like you're guessing 5 bedrooms kind of place. And it's an hour out from town. It was clearly built originally to be kind of like a lookout post. And it's now owned by the Baron Kratos. You guys are here. Sorry.
We are adventurers now.
Mhm.
We need to I guess we need to follow the protocol. What is the protocol? Who knows that? I'm looking around like, where's Thistle?
Your uncle implied that you guys already had the job, but now that you're here, it looks like that might not have been the case.
I think
don't want to
Cap
be rude.
would encourage Yinmu to exercise his name.
There.
She doesn't
Name.
wanna. Oh, sorry.
Or
their name.
Yinmo's name, or just
Thank you.
Yinmu's name?
Yinmu.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Their name.
I was kind of tottering, but with prompting on from Cap, like, no, we're important people. Like,
She
yes,
would be
we
like,
are.
just go. Just open that door. She'd be like,
Let's
we
just
just
move forward.
we just
like,
beat someone in
we're
an arm
here.
wrestle.
All right. So you kind of shove ahead of the person who's first in line, who gives you a look that would, wilt flowers. And are you knocking on the door or just opening it?
No, we're just opening it up.
Open it.
All right. You grab the handle and jiggle it, and it appears to be locked. But the second it jiggles, a servant opens the door, and he looks you up and down. And he's obviously like a receiving person. He looks you up and down. And he's like, yes.
Yeah, the Yin family's here.
And
Were you not expecting us?
he turns back and says, list. And another servant brings up a list, and he looks up and down the list. And he looks back to you and he says, no.
We have been hired for this job. Please
We were under the
Mm.
impression-
The line is back there.
do this job.
Line is back there.
Cap is gonna try.
Line.
Cap, no,
Back
Cap-
there. He's being very rude, by the way.
No, I'm gonna do a deceit check.
Okay.
Lie
Okay.
and say kind of what like a letter?
There are ways to do things,
Mhm.
but it's also you'd have to communicate that to your one spellcaster, and B, Yinmu is not trained in like hiding their spellcasting. There are ways to do that. Yinmu does not have those ways right now, so.
Okay, then Kathleen just likes
It's
to
a
lie.
little obvious when your spellcaster goes, waves their hands, shouts some arcane things at this piece of paper. Like, look, see this piece of paper. Ignore everything else.
Don't
Ignore
mind
the fact that you suddenly believe us now.
Contract, reveal your secrets.
Yes. She would just like to say, we've been hired for this job, and a messenger told us to arrive, and it's very rude of you to keep us waiting.
All right, why don't you give me a deception check?
Okay.
I was half expecting our rogue to like pull out some dirty tricks to just like get rid of the line.
I got a 13. Is that good?
It's okay. He looks.
Atypical rogue.
He looks down the list and he looks back at you, and he says, "I don't know. I just don't have any. You're not on the list." And he reaches out like he wants to shake your hand.
Sleight of hand. Handshake. Woo.
Okay, Clip, you want to jump in and shake his hand?
I do. I would like to put like 3 gold in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I see where this is going.
All right, you don't have.
This is what we have a rogue for.
You don't have to make a check. You don't have to make a check for that. You shake his hand and he pulls it back and he's like, that does ring a bell, but if you'd only come like 2 hours earlier,
I think he's suggesting he wants 2 more gold pieces.
She puts her hands in her pocket, kind of thinking, and she's like, I don't know. Guys,
he's gonna-
I think we should have came 3 hours earlier. How about that? So she
So-
has 3 coins.
you slip him 3 more.
3 more, yep.
He takes the handshake and he says, "How silly of me! Right this way."
Okay.
Opens the door. The adventurer, who's first in line now, is tipped. By the way.
I'm gonna throw him 2 copper.
Oh, are you really?
Oh wow, that'll impress him.
Throw it at him.
Rogue.
Throw it at him.
Well, kind of like just chuck at him.
Just
Like,
throw it in the dirt. Throw it in the dirt.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
We're gonna end up having to fight the people behind us because we're gonna piss them off.
It's possible.
18.
Oh, nice. You shrug off the curse as the door shuts. You're like, you think a curse is going to affect me? I'm a ghoul and a were-snake. I don't have any room left for a curse.
Yinmu will be like, that was quick thinking there, Clip, and we'll pull out 6 coins out of their purse to recompense you.
Oh, nice.
I didn't do nothing. What are you talking about? I gave the guy a friendly handshake.
I will do it in Yinmu's attempt at being stealthy.
Right.
Not nearly as impressive as Clip's actual capabilities. There was, the loud whispering.
Nice job bribing that guy. All right.
Discretion is not your forte.
So you guys are led into a large receiving chamber, for lack of a better word. The guy who lets you in nods, and he lets you know that the Baron is with another party right now, but that you guys will be the next to see him. And then he points, and there's a little pile of whatever the medieval times equivalent of magazines would be. So there's a little pile of scrolls, with the news of the day on them.
Okay, I would like to look through them if possible.
Sure. What you looking for?
And so I've got this journal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That nobody else knows about.
Right. Your
I want to see
secret.
if any of the writing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if any of the writing matches the writing that's in the book that I'm assuming I've read several times over since I've had this.
You have. Okay, so you check through these everyday parchments with news of the day to see if any of them match the mysterious eldritch arcane writing of your secret book, your grimoire, and none of them do.
Okay.
They all seem to be just kind of trivial things going on.
I was thinking of asking some of the people outside, but I feel like that's not going to happen now. But do either of you happen to know what the going rate for adventurers is? Like, if we're going to be bargaining, I feel like this is going to involve more bargaining than I initially planned for. And
I am
not...
a 14-year-old tabaxi girl. I do not know.
Cap has just come out of hell, so she knows the going right for law services.
I feel like Thistle is the one who knows.
That's what makes this so great.
Cap recommends that we ask for as much as we can.
$1 million gold.
Lots of persuasion and insight rolls, then.
Okay.
Just hope that those we can properly read the situation.
I think we have such a charismatic barbarian.
All right. So you guys see the doors open, and you see an adventuring group come out. They're a pretty classic group. They got fighter, wizard, cleric, thief. They've got pretty confident looks, like they feel pretty good, like the interview went pretty well, They come out and they
If there's anything good on I said, can I do an investigation to see if there's anything good on the other road?
Just from afar, or are you going over and frisking them?
No, I'm not going over and frisking them. I'm just looking at them and trying to get, it ingrained in my brain if I see this guy later, if there's anything good that I might be able to, lighten his load with.
Give me
the thief version of ogling.
Yeah.
I bet they have some nice equipment hiding under those clothes.
give me a investigation roll. He's got a real cute butt. I shouldn't presume because I don't actually know what your taste in butts are, but if you like the firm tight butts, like the cowboy butt, yeah. So they see you guys sitting there, whereas they presumably were just standing outside like everybody else, and you hear a little murmuring under their breath. But they don't really. They just kind of give you. They just kind of give you sidelong glances, and then they continue out.
I was gonna say, what would we have to do to hear that murmuring? Would that be
Yeah. Why don't you give me another? We'll call it. How about insight? Why don't you give me an insight check?
I'll see if I can help out with that and try and pick up on the.
Yeah.
No, that was not. Mine was only 8.
That's all right. 18 will do it. Yeah, they just kind of like, well, we gotta stand outside. But you also get the impression they seem to think they've nailed it. You don't know if that's overconfidence.
I'm just looking like owl, no owl. Do you feel like that's overdoing it, or like feel like it looks better?
Yeah.
I can't recommend owl.
but it
Yes,
should be
owl.
a raven.
No
That
owl.
would. I mean, I could do raven, but that costs
That'd be a
resources.
different
Switch.
familiar.
It's actually it's the same familiar, it's just different form. But,
Oh,
well,
okay.
it depends on how Matt wants to fluff that. So.
He'd have to recast a summon spell. So.
Because I can change the shape of the familiar once per day, but it costs resources.
Owls are cool though. I mean, and that seems more his style. I don't think he's. They. I don't feel that they are goth or emo enough to want to lean toward the raven direction.
Well, or I was feeling like Raven's a little more arcane wizardy, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So the retainer comes up and he says, "The Baron will see you now," and he nods to you.
so we're
Opens the door.
all right. So Yinmu will try and take charge in this and rely on hopefully superior persuasion and insight checks to kind of bluff our way through. And yes, we know what we're doing. We are grand adventurers.
Okay.
Do this all the time.
So he takes you guys in. And I want to set this scene here. Now, this room. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to back up for a second. The city of Daggerford, city is kind of a generous term. It's a town. It's like they want to be water deep, but they're not water deep. You know what I mean? And they don't have a monarchy per se. So you guys know how the Lords of Waterdeep, you know how Waterdeep has these masked lords that come and preside? And the whole idea is there's like 100 masked lords, and because they have masks, nobody knows the identity of all of them. So like Daggerford want to do the same thing, but it's like 10 farmers, and everybody knows who they are. And they come in like their overalls and everything, but then put on masks so they feel like they're like being fancy. That's kind of what you're dealing with here in Daggerford. It's like it's not Hicksville or anything like that. It's like by any means. It's a nice town, but they definitely aspire to more than they are. This receiving room is picture a downscale throne room, if you will. So like it's built like there's a chair. It's not a king's throne, but there is like a fancy chair on the end of the room that's made to like for the person receiving you to like have you come see him, and like the carpet leads up to it. But the setting is not like a throne room, it's a little more a little less ostentatious. There's a couple hunting trophies on the wall. It's like you can tell this is a man that's used to receiving people in like a manner of authority, but it's not like as serious as like a monarch. Am I making sense?
Like Gaston's.
Yeah. It's nicer than that. This isn't the CEO. This is like one of the directors of the company. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's serious business, but nobody's gonna behead you or anything like that. The Baron himself is younger than you were expecting. This guy, there's late 20s, early 30s, more handsome than you would have expected. He's a dashing young man. He's sitting in the throne, and he has a serious look about him. And standing kind of off to the side is a wizard. You presume he's a wizard. He's dressed like a wizard. I don't want to.
He has a raven on his shoulder.
He does not have an animal, but he has those, stereotypical robes. He's got like, the wizard thing where like their hands are tucked inside the sleeves of the other hand. So like the robes just meet.
Yep.
And he's got like his head. He's got there's not stars. He's wearing all gray, but he does have the hat that like, it's not pointy, just like hangs back, And he's got kind of a Sauron the White thing going on. And he's got his head bowed. You're not sure if he's asleep, if he's like praying, but he's standing like 15 feet off, say, from the Baron. He doesn't seem to respond to you guys coming in. And there's a couple guards at the door that are just kind of, don't respond either. They're just in position.
I assume Yinmu knows the correct protocol for greeting a baron and all that.
You do. I presume you want to walk up and kind of like do a little kneel / curtsy kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, or I get more of a bow type thing.
Yeah.
Whatever the proper protocol is.
You do, and he says, "No, please. There's no cause for that." He's wearing a couple rings and stuff, but he motions, and you see there's been a few like wooden chairs set up so that you guys can have like kind of a half circle, like sit down and talk to him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
I don't fit. I'm awkward.
He says, please make yourselves comfortable.
Cap will sit.
Yeah, I'll sit.
All right. He introduces himself. He says, I'm the Baron Kratos. Please tell me all about yourselves.
Yinmu of the Yin family.
Oh, yes. I spoke to your uncle.
Yeah, Yinhuo.
Yes.
He
Lovely man.
I'm a druid, and this is our adventuring party. I don't know if you guys probably can't see it. But every time I say adventuring, I put my hands on my hips. So, and these are, and I'll indicate to everyone else. I assume you'll introduce yourselves unless you want me to.
He nods.
Cap would say the other parties you've seen are not as strong as this party.
He nods. He says, I can see that. He says, by the way, his warmth instantly puts you at ease. you can see why every party you've seen so far thinks that they won the interview. Because he just seems very congenial and warm. You know, there's no indication that you guys are doing anything wrong at all. Whether you are or not, he seems just very, very pleasant. He says, and what is the name of your adventuring party? Evil Dungeon Master.
Yeah, we are the Serpent Slayers.
Oh, I like that.
He raises an eyebrow. He says, "Really? Do tell. Tell me of some of your exploits."
Okay.
He scoots up a little bit in his chair, like he scoots forward slightly.
How well can I embellish our story of us running away from a werewolf?
Well, first off, start with how noble we were for offering to protect this damsel in distress on the most dangerous night of the year.
Yeah,
You just let Calf do the talking. She's doing great.
Calf?
I said let Calf tell it. She's doing great so far.
Sure. Probably both work together on this.
Yes, so
Calf, I feel like Calf might be better at the embellishing part.
So Calf of course says, we nobly agreed to help a woman on her way home to check on her property, the most dangerous night of the year. Many paid guards are not interested in venturing out on this night. Calf would also mention how we slayed bad guys along the way. Is Yinmu want to say something?
No, just in my attempts to help with the storytelling, I rolled an 18 plus whatever bonus you want that to be. So if you want that to be bluff or persuasion or
Okay.
I guess it's deception.
Yeah, it'd be deception, but let's let Calf finish real quick.
Calf would talk about how frenzied and distressed this woman was, but how our party kept their cool.
Mm-hmm.
Slayed bad guys on the way. Found danger ahead of time. Those like ghosty guys. We heard them. We took her safely back to her manor. No promise of compensation. Also, and discovered there that she wanted to eat us. And
well, there was an attack. Once we had safely escorted her to her manor, a snake attacked all of us, and we very successfully prevented the lady we had escorted from coming to any real harm.
I love it.
Now you guys have learned to phrase things carefully.
These are the parts where
I like it.
Like Calf starts to go into one direction, and Yinmu's just like, and then this happened, like, and just like, and very successfully stymied an attack by ghoul assassins and everything, and so just Calf's telling the story, and Yinmu is hyping it up and rephrasing some certain things.
Okay, why don't you guys give me a perception check?
All of us?
Yeah.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I got a 20.
Nice.
I got a 24.
Nice. Okay. So he seems to really be into your story, and he seems to be listening. And he seems to be buying it as far as you can tell. Again, he projects a very warm and friendly countenance. But Clip and Yinmu, you both notice he keeps making sidelong glances at his court wizard.
Who may or may not be using, say, Stone of Truth or something like to that effect.
Oh, jeez. But we are telling the truth.
Yes, you'll notice Yinmu is very careful in their phrasing.
I did. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, Cap was just gonna lie.
Yeah, there was really nothing.
Just kept her mouth shut, other than pointing to her bite marks.
Oh yeah, that's a proof of our bravery.
I like how Clip is just like, I want to point off to all the people how I've been bitten by a lycanthrope.
she's very excited. It's like the tough guy who keeps wanting to show you his scar.
Well, I figured it was more like the the survivor keeps wanting to show off how he's bitten by a zombie. Like, look, guys, look how awesome I am. I went out there and got bit by a zombie.
I'm a danger to everyone.
So he seems like he's really into it. He's listening. He asks you guys a couple questions. He says a were snake. How do you know she was a were snake?
Because it was a person who turned into a giant snake. We made our check on that, right? Yeah, no, I'm no expert on lycanthropes, but I've studied enough of the various creatures of the land to recognize one when I see one.
He says,
"Human becomes a snake by the light of the moon." That's a big clue.
Well, see, you guys didn't mention the moon till just now. When you say that, he says, "Oh."
We did specifically say it was the solstice night.
Solstice.
You did, but fair enough. Well, it's just you said a person turned into a snake. You didn't specifically say like.
Yeah, I guess that's also true.
I mean, he would have questions. There's other things in D&D that can turn into snakes.
That's why there's three of us to interject.
So he nods. He says that's fascinating. So tell me, what qualities do you think you have that would help with this mission?
Cap would like to know more about the mission so that we can say what qualities we have.
No, that's classified. Just go with your heart.
Cap would discuss the benefit of bringing a druid along because of the owl familiar, which can scout ahead. She would also discuss the benefits of having a berserker who can rage, who can take down tougher enemies than perhaps a paladin or a non-berserker tiefling would have to offer, and would also extol the sleight of hand that Clip brings to the table, and how even in the face of death, we have a paladin who can assure that we carry on.
He says, "Oh."
I like how Yinwu's difficulty was describing what Clip does, and your difficulty is like explaining how the ways in which a paladin is useful. And our paladin, he sure can paladin.
I also don't want to say he saved us from almost death, because then that makes us look bad because we almost died. So just saying.
I actually think the devil, not the devil, but the demon person not being able to describe the usefulness of a paladin is very in character. I guess they smite evil or some crap. Who cares about that?
2 more times where we have to have Clip and Thistle explain what everyone in the group and their role is.
So you mentioned the paladin, the useful paladin, and he's like, "Oh," and he looks around. Where's the paladin? Is it the owl?
Oh, is he not with us?
Unfortunately, the end of this journey was a bit much for him because of the fight. He definitely was one of the people who not everyone in our party did as well towards the end of the fight. The sacrifices were made in our fight with the were snake, and he is out. He's still out watching all our gear and everything. So
he nods.
When he recovers, he'll be stronger than any other paladin.
He's like a Super Saiyan.
He's doing his low grav training. He says, sounds like a very hardy sort."
Indeed. That is exactly the word for it.
He nods. Everybody give me a perception roll.
I'm worried because I'm using up all my 17s and 18s, but 23.
Nice.
No, 22. 22.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm not impressed.
Oh, yeah.
I got a 7.
Okay.
I'm getting no feedback from this person.
Not at all. You think
I'm
you're doing...
impressed with myself.
I was say you can tell you're doing great.
13.
All right. Yinmu, this time you're the only one who notices it, but he's still definitely glancing over at the wizard. And then you see the wizard after the space of, I don't know, say roughly 10 minutes or so. You see the wizard look up from what he was doing, and he gives the slightest of nods to the Baron.
Sounds good to me. Like a
And
good
then-
That
thing.
was a lie.
Well, no, I don't. We didn't lie. We had to dance quite a bit, especially when it came to why Thistle wasn't with us. But
We didn't lie.
we didn't lie at any point.
You guys seem pretty concerned. It's a zone of truth spell.
Well, we don't know.
Pretty
It's
convinced, I should say.
10 minutes is enough time for just about any kind of
Ritual.
ritual. Yeah. So like it could be a number of things. It could also be maybe he's, I don't know, checking out our stats. I'm not as familiar with all the spells in 5e, so.
Well, when he nods at the Baron, he looks at you guys and nods, and he says, "Okay, I think I've heard enough." And he stands up, and he's all smiles, hard to read. He says, "I'm really impressed. I think you guys did an excellent job. Why don't you join everybody else outside, and I'll let you all know how you did at the end of the day."
I'll thank the Baron, and I guess we're heading outside.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Clip, I've noticed you have an interest. I guess this is after we're outside.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
So that's it. You guys are just gonna go. Okay. I'm
Um,
just making sure.
Thank
You see
for
the
your time.
the guards. He shakes your guys' hands. The guards open the door, and he actually gets up from his because he's a classy guy. He actually gets up from his, I don't want to call it a throne, but his seat.
Cheer.
He gets up from his seat to kind of walk you guys out, and he kind of gives you a Yinmu, since you seem to be in charge. He kind of gives you a pat on the back, and the guards walk over. There's two guards because it's like double doors. And the guards open the doors, and you see there's another adventuring party inside the house, like you guys were. And one of them looks up at you guys and throws a fireball.
What? Oh. At
we-
you, at all of us?
Are we rolling initiative or are we?
Initiative.
Nope, that's our game.
Oh, that's it.
Unless somebody had a really cool like counter spell. I was just giving you a second to absorb and see if you have a response.
I think Thistle's the one who has all the defensive magic right now.
Well, the only thing Cap could think of with that person and with the previous guy to try and convince him more would be like violence or bribing, which would probably not improve our chances.
Violence. Attack him. No, look how tough I am.
We're gonna arm wrestle, and if we get the
How
job.
Kath is great at just pulling out her weapon and just non-threateningly brandishing it at people.
I
Pull your weapon in advance on people.
definitely think you should go back and get Tiberius and bring him in, and then like beat up on him to display like